Welcome to Epic Stock Due Diligence. Please subscribe at youtube.com/EpicStockDD. Thank you.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another entertaining episode of Epic Stock Due Diligence. That's youtube.com/EpicStockDD. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely do so. Share with others. Check out my book if you want to. You can go to the main page of youtube.com/EpicStockDD. And the picture of me in front of that bull on Broadway, it says buy my book. On the Apple iTunes store, costs a few bucks. If you want to buy it, that's fine. If you don't, I understand, and I'm not here to pump my book. But what I do want to talk about today are the pumpers. Now, you've got the penny stocks, and even if you're somewhat new to the game, you've probably encountered a pump and dump already. Now, what I want to talk about now are pump and dumps that run concurrently. Now, this is something as you become a more experienced trader. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing this information for entertainment purposes only. But what you may find with these pump and dumps is that after you've identified a few pump and dumps, and after you've done your extensive due diligence, and you've noticed that, hey, well, pump and dump A, pump and dump B, pump and dump C, they all seem to have this common factor or common factors. And what was that? Well, often you'll discover that these pump and dumps are often run by the same person or the same group of people, and often they're run concurrently. So, for example, let's just look at a hypothetical scenario. There's three stocks that are trading in a bullish uptrend. I mean, we're talking 150, 200, 300% in one day of trading. Now, the day before, another stock with those same people associated with it may have run really big, and then it tanked. Now, see what's happening, and this isn't always the case. Again, it's hypothetical, but I'm sharing this as a form of entertainment and a way to hopefully make you think and think about the market in a different way. So with three stocks, you see one up one day, sharply up one day, the other one sharply up the next, the other one sharply up the next. You may be able to start to spot patterns, because often what these people will do, whether it's one individual or most often a group of individuals, a group of traders that have orchestrated their pump and dump plan, a lot of times what they'll like to do, just imagine a staircase. So let's call them stock A, B, and C. Pump and dump A, pump and dump B, pump and dump C. So on day one, pump and dump A is up 150, 200%. Pump and dump B is just kind of sitting there. Pump and dump C is kind of stagnant as well. You know, maybe a small increase in price per share, maybe a small decrease in price per share. But pump and dump A is sharply up on day one. So then day two arrives, and you start to see pump and dump A decline. Maybe not too drastically, but somewhat rapidly. Now, and then you start to see pump and dump B start to go up a little bit. Now, often what's happening is that these trader or traders, plural, depending upon how many people were involved, on day one, their pump obviously worked because it went up sharply, a few 100%. So on day two, they've got their next cat in the bag. In this hypothetical example, it's pump and dump B. So on day two, you're starting to see that increase. You're starting to see pump and dump A decline. And often what happens is that those traders are exiting their position, but they don't want to make it too drastic, because what they want to do is exit for a huge gain and then start to pump, and not necessarily pump, but start to load into pump and dump B. And then, so they've already made money, and they're riding freebies because it's profits from their pump and dump A and pump and dump B. They haven't really ignited it yet. Well, then they decide to ignite it. Maybe pump and dump B really goes to the moon. It's starting to shoot up a few 100% in one day of trading. And then pump and dump A is more rapidly declining, because often what's happening is that they're continuing to exit from pump and dump A, they're continuing to add to pump and dump B, and don't forget about pump and dump C over there. because all good sailors go to sea. So then there's pump and dump C. So then you can kind of see it continue. Now this is just 3 stocks. So just kind of look at it like a really unethical staircase of sorts. And they're going up, and then they're kind of staying stagnant. Maybe there's a little bit of slope in that stair. It's poorly manufactured, or maybe it's bumped up a little bit, a little bit of increase. But ultimately, they're riding up hard. They're exiting in what they try to orchestrate as a fashion that would not instill fear within the clueless traders' minds. And then they're adding to the next one with those profits, and then the trend just continues. And then you know what? Maybe the one, they're all the way over here to hypothetical example C, and maybe it's way up, and then the other ones at that point are way down. But then C, there's storytellers that come in, and they orchestrate this news for both A and B. And now they're back down in the trip zeros. Well, all of a sudden, all this volume starts coming into those trip zeros, example A and example B, and that volume is because of all the huge gains that were made from A to B to C, and now C's to the moon, and they're selling off of C, and they've injected this pump again into A and B, and the huge volume, that huge volume, that's because of the news that the storytellers created. And the volume supports the news because, wow, there must be something verifiable going on. Look at those hundreds of millions of shares being traded. Whereas in reality, it's likely a well-orchestrated pump and dump by the people that have made tons of money. And then they're re-injecting that money into the previous plays, the A's and the B's, because they want to support that news that the storytellers created with volume. And what better way to validate news or expected news than volume? So if you ever think that you've mastered penny stocks, just look in the mirror and tell yourself you're a failure. Because more than likely, I hope this example illustrates how twisted penny stocks can be. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to entertain. I'm not trying to put together a paid penny stock training class or drive around in my Lamborghini or do this, that, and the other. I'm just here to entertain. And I hope you found this video to be entertaining. If you did, I appreciate your feedback and sharing with others, because I'm really hoping to continue to grow the footprint of youtube.com/EpicStockDD. Because I started with 0 and I'm far from hero, but I'm having a good time, and I hope you're enjoying this too. So thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day. Again, it's youtube.com/EpicStockDD.